Hello, welcome. I am Marina Orms of Astrology Heals at astrologyheals.com, and I am interviewing women badasses of different zodiac signs, and I'm super excited because I have a dear friend here with me today named Debrae Firehawk, and Debrae is a Leo sun and a Leo badass, and I'll read your bio in just a second, but thanks for being here, Debrae.
Yeah, hello. It's such a pleasure to be here. How fun.
Yay.
Thank you.
Awesome. So Debrae is a spiritual counselor and psychic communicator. She is also an artist, a performer, and a DJ. And all of these fit with the archetype of Leo. Her website is debraefirehawk.com. It's Debrae Firehawk Firehawk.com. And yeah, so thanks for being here and representing the sign of Leo. Yeah. So what would you say makes you a badass?
Well, I was thinking about this, of course, and about, my Leo-ness. What part of my Leo-ness, right, is part of my badassness? And the first one that I thought of, because I have a 9-year-old Leo in my life who gets to show me how I was as a child sometimes. And what I remember is wherewithal. I would just tell my teachers, no, it's not like that. Or my mom said it's this, or, like wherewithal is the best way that I could put it. And I'm sure it was a pain in the ass to raise, but I think it has served me well in the world of just kind of needing to say it.
So do you feel like that wherewithal shows up now in your life as an adult?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even more as I'm older and I kind of let it fly a little bit more, or I know where is it safe, where is it not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what I call it. I'm a checked Leo, because if I don't check myself, that wherewithal can really turn into being very opinionated. So, it's a fine line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, it's interesting because that's been kind of a theme in these interviews, is that women are finding that when they balance some of those natural tendencies, that's actually has to do with really what the challenges are and what they've had to learn to step into being a badass.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how to, as a fire sign, how to seriously pick your battles, or if it needs to be a battle at all, right?
Yeah, great. Yeah. So do
There
you
is
have?
another part, if I could go into another part.
Yeah, please.
The other part is the performance piece of it all, which just came very easy, and not even came easy, but was a drive from a very young age. We just, as kids, you just do what you do. But I had my parents sit there, and I would be every part of it. They'd come in and buy their ticket. I'd act like I was the ticket person, and then they'd come and sit down. I'd act like I was the usher, and then I'd take all the characters, including
Performance.
the star performer.
Yeah.
And so, it was incredibly natural, and I think a misunderstood part, a badass part of Leo's too, that when I was growing up and listening about it, they'd be like, oh, you need to be the center of attention. And I just felt like, no, because there's also a very shy part of Leo, that it's just that I can be the center of attention and I can handle it. And then I want to leave and not be the center of attention then. I want to choose.
Tell me a little bit more about that. How do you take care of yourself, and do you need to step back from the performance to sort of get back to yourself?
Yeah, I wonder about all of that in my Leo self, but yeah, absolutely, especially with a big performance where I've worked on it and now, you know, I'm holding a lot of space for a bigger audience, then afterwards, most definitely, there is a whole come down period where I am, antisocial. But it doesn't last very long, and it is a curious feeling for me.
Interesting. Yeah.
But
yeah.
That's changed a bit as I've gotten older. But
say that again. As you've gotten older.
As I've gotten older, that has changed a bit. I'm a little more. I'm not as driven towards the social, and I wonder. I've heard of people kind of growing from their sun sign to their moon sign more as women or whatever as we grow. And I don't know.
Yeah. What is your moon sign?
Gemini.
Gemini. Okay. Also social. Yeah.
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 So.
Interesting. So, so you've spoken a little bit to what you see as the challenges to stepping into being a badass. As the Leo part of yourself. Is there anything you would add to that, or any examples you could give us of what you've had to overcome?
I think the biggest thing when I think of it in the view of my Leo self would be ego and perfection. So that when I am creating a piece, I am looking for perfection, and I struggle with my ego to put it out in its human fallibility, whether it's painting like, you know, what you see here, which still hasn't seen a gallery or a person, you know, but that there's I call it completion addiction, that I'll have to like really complete it to feel like I can put it out there. And that's also softening as I get older, I suppose. Just as we mature through our signs, we learn how to manage ourselves. But yeah, I would say that's probably my bigger challenge, is that within the Leo is the perfection piece, and being able to see the perfection, so really want to attain it
in what you're putting out there.
I'm putting out there, but I have to either do that with bodies as a choreographer or with a paintbrush, you know, medium.
Yeah.
That is also going to have its filter or its challenge.
So you're a dancer and a choreographer, and you do art, and you're a DJ, and you also do this spiritual counseling. So how does your Leo side show up there?
Well, I would say, as far as especially being badass, there's this social feeling that I've had since I was a child, which is that everybody's my friend. And I kind of feel like that was the Leo part, you know? And, you know, I got knocked down on that one quite a bit and learned that it's so not true, but I still hold it in my heart. And so it's very easy for me to create a held space for my clients, I feel like. And also, you know, there's a bit of that wherewithal of just, you know, if it's hard, well, let's do it. If it's great, then let's talk about that. If it, you know, the intensity, I guess, a capacity for intensity.
Yeah. So there's the warmth and the generosity, but also the, you know, the willingness to be present with expression.
Yeah. And that fearless kind of like, okay, you know, who are you mad at? Let's talk about it. Let's get mad at them. And, you know, really talk about it.
Yeah,
you know, and not be fearful of the emotional places one might go. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. It's important.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, is there anything you would say to other women Leos who are stepping into their badass selves that might be helpful?
Absolutely. That patience is not a weakness. And that drive is better served when it can go bounce, at least bounce, if not dig into the earth, but bounce to the earth before it comes through, if that makes energetic sense.
Yeah, say a little more about that, because I think that's important.
Yeah, that, you know, as a Leo, where we are so challenged by all the oppression, you know, Leo doesn't really take well to being oppressed or told what to do, or like getting fire sign is a little bit like, oh yeah, you know?
Yeah.
So, so in a way that served me, but in a way it's made me choose the wrong battles. And so if I feel the feeling and I'm like, oh, that's something, okay, I'm feeling that, but what to do about it might not be the same as the feeling, right? We might want to work with that feeling body and get that to like move with the earth and get some wisdom flowing there, and then decide on that action. I feel like we can go real quick to action. So just slowing that process down just a weeks is hard to do. And so if you can't do it, just have patience. You know, it took me a long time. I'm still figuring it out.
Sure. Yeah, totally. No, that's really helpful. And so yeah, it's really, what I'm hearing is that it's really about learning how to manage the energy that's coming through you and choose consciously how you're going to express that or let it come through. And you mentioned patience, so being patient with yourself. And
right, it's like a sunshot, you know, you kind of got to be careful where you put it, you know, but it's helped me get out of tickets and you know, just hi, oh yeah, you know, just being, you know, whatever, fun and connective and all of that. But yeah.
I love it. Awesome. Well, cool. Is there anything else you want to add? This is great.
Just thanks for asking and for doing this. I think it's so fun, and just spreading our understandings out into the world so that we can learn about each other from all these myriad of perspectives from which one can live. And yeah, I just appreciate it.
Yeah,
so,
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we all have Leo inside of us somewhere, you know, so
Right.
so to embrace your inner Leo, whether you are a Leo or not, and to share this joy that exudes from Debrae, which I love. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's been really lovely.
Thank
Yeah.
you, darling.
And thanks everybody for listening. So we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, catch you next time. I'll listen in.
Bye.